Hello, hello. Would you care for a tea with a lemon slice? That was the inspiration behind these birthday cards. Hi, I'm Riikka Kovasin and welcome to another process video. Let's get started. I started these cards by making the elements somewhat ready or cutting and embossing them. So the first thing I'm now adding is color. I use just white cardstock to emboss these A6 sized, so card sized bits with an 3D embossing folder, and now I'm using distressed oxide to add color to them. I first pushed the pads on top of my craft table, added some water, but that didn't result enough color for me. It's because of the really dimensional pattern, so it's just touching the tops of the pattern, and I want the whole sheet colored. So I'm using the same colors but with another way. I'm pushing the ink pad again to the craft table, adding water, but this time I'm using a brush to apply the watercolor paint then to the surface. I'm letting the colors mix up a little bit, but I have to be honest, I really liked the kind of pool version better than the painting version. If I would now do these cards, I would add the colors first to a flat piece of paper and then drive it through the embossing folder, thus giving me the beautiful marbling effect of the puddle coloring and with the pattern. When I'm then happy with the backgrounds, I turn my attention to the little cups. I'm using the same 3 colors as with the backgrounds and coloring each cup with one color. So there's a teal cup, then a pink cup and a lime colored one. I'm coloring all the cup pieces with the same color at this stage, but I'm then turning them into different layers or treating the colors a little bit differently to get this dimension thing going. For the coloring, I'm using the same process, pushing the ink pad to the surface and then adding water using a wet brush to get the color. You might be a little bit surprised by the color palette at this stage because I'm usually working with browns. So not to worry if that's your cup of tea, because next I'm adding some brown on top of those embossed backgrounds and also using brown to color the beverage inside the cup. This was my idea to get that bright color underneath and then kind of turn it into vintagey looking using the brown on top. Next I inked a whole bunch of little pieces to make the orange or lemon slices. I did use orange color in the peel part just to differ it from the inside part, but I'm still thinking that lemon will go nicely with tea or more nicely than orange. For the inside parts, I used my finger to kind of guard or block the color from the center, so there's a little bit of dimension that way. Next I'm then adding a little bit more brown. So I'm adding 2 brown colors to the slices, treating the edges of the background, which I then cut to right size at this stage, and then also adding brown to the bottom layer of the cups. This is to turn it into kind of a shadowy part, and to make everything kind of matchy-matchy, I use brown for that. The center part or the middle part is then highlighted with the same oxide ink. So there's kind of 2 layers of that in the center, and then the first or the topmost layer is just the painted color. So there's these 3 colors in the cup, even though they're kind of just with 2 colors. Then I'm putting everything together. It's time to construct. Here's what it's meant to look like in a little bit. I'm using this like kind of a lattice as my grounding layer, adding a touch of white to the otherwise quite colorful card. Then it looks like it's just a little bit too pale in a way, not incorporated in the card. So I'm adding some white splashes to mask the shape. a little bit. I'm repeating then this to the all 3 cards. What I also did, I made the focal points using foam tape. So there's the slice of lemon underneath, then the cup on top, and the steam rising from the cup. I also cut some labels using Sizzix dies and turn those into little sentiment greetings by stamping a sentiment onto them. To make them more part of the brown hue card, I then add some brown around the edges of each label. Then I used foam tape to mount the centers to each card, and after that I then used double-sided tape to mount the centers of the cards, or the, well, images, let's say, to each card. After adding the sentiments to each card and then mounting those, I then finish each one with some epoxy stickers. For that, I'm following the color scheme of the mug. So with the pink cup, I'm adding a pink heart and a couple of pink dots as well. For the teal ones, and then for the green ones, I opted for yellow ones because I didn't have the right color for that. Just a little extra touch of color. And after that, the set is done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. And if you prefer these cards to be really colorful, then just leave the brown away. I'm always tempted to add a little bit of brown in my makes, kind of make it more vintagey. But thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you within a week, I hope. Thanks, bye!